Good evening from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Just turn my little elephants around. It's 5:50 p.m. on the 14th of March 2024. I'm late making my videos again. I'm astonishingly tired. I had a very, very bad night last night. So I'm literally a zombie today, the living dead. Can you tell? I've been to my GP though. I got a script for Ventolin and Seretide for my asthma because winter is slowly creeping down upon us, and I need to be prepared in case my lungs decide to do their usual Mickey Finn they do every year, very seasonally, unreasonably but seasonally is what I meant. Anyway, I'm stuck on something here. I just have to wiggle a little bit. Don't mind me. All right, I think we're right. It's humid, but it's a bit cooler outside. I went to visit my lovely friend Lynn after I saw my GP, and got to see her daughters visited her as well, and it was really quite lovely. But I'm just so wrung out today. It's just beyond awful. Anyway, here we are, another day in paradise. So, we begin our readings of even date, the 14th of March 2024. Don't think there's really anything really all that astonishing, but you never know. You never know. I sometimes surprise myself what I rediscover in my own writings and ramblings. It can be quite delightful at times. Other times it's a bit depressing, but you have to move through life one day at a time and retain your living memory, people. It's very, very important. So, today's readings, 14th of March 2024, entitled Shouldering Men in Pubs, Charlie Went Missing, and Other General Madness. And here I posted a photograph of my beautiful little Bobo. This was when he was still a young dog. Having a little swim in the little paddling pool thing that I put out for the wild birds, but he used to enjoy it too. I need to buy another one because my metal spa bath has all got massive holes and it's past the point of no return now. They're not very expensive. They're about $20 in Kmart, so I just haven't got round to buying another one, but I will. It's for the birdies now that Beauregard's in Valhalla. But he does look so cute sitting there, sweet little man. So, 14th of March 2023. Here's all my orchids growing rather splendiferously in my golden rain tree. And blue skies and happiness 1 year ago today. It's another scathing hot day, but the dog has been bathed and had a bit of a fur trim. Charlie's cage has been taken outside, stripped of all its paraphernalia and scrubbed, then put back together, which is a big job and it kind of needs doing again, Charlie. Well, that's the thing with birdies, is that they poo everywhere and can be quite messy. That took most of my morning. I also cleaned out the bird bath and filled it with fresh water. It's 2:55 p.m. and I'm finally sitting down, eating lunch and having a rest. I had little sleep last night, so I have done well considering. So what else is new, right? 1:54 a.m. Unable to sleep. I even tried a soothing soundtrack on Spotify. I couldn't settle with the electronic jarring. I guess my nervous system, always incongruent with other humans and the planet. We'll sleep when it feels like. I had a lovely day yesterday in spite of my dressels the previous... Stressors, did I say? Stressors? I thought I said dressels. Anyway, in spite of my stressors the previous day. I felt nurtured, loved and protected by fellow artists yesterday. I felt inspired to go forwards and get what I need to secure my future castings in their crucible without it splattering everywhere. Tonight I even felt hopeful and positive that money will flow to me so I can continue to create. Still manifesting that one, babies, but it's slowly shifting. Mama's trying to shift that block like a Sisyphusian albatross on my neck, that block. But I'm very happy at the moment. I bought a lovely dress today for $12 in an op shop, and a few other little bits and pieces. And went to Golden Circle and bought a few little just things like olives and sun-dried tomatoes and honey. I didn't buy a lot in there, but just a few little bits and pieces just to keep me going on. So I'm very contented with all of that. Tonight I even felt hopeful and positive that money will flow to me so I can continue to create. I get like this, a tad delusional and overly positive until the next collapse of my nervous system. But I get knocked down, then I get up again. It's all good. I can see that there has been a great shift in my consciousness in recent weeks, a sense of destiny and grace. So time will tell what is in store for me, for all of us. And it's a bit peculiar, but exactly a year later, I kind of have the same intuition. It's like we're still finding our equilibrium and finding our path after the COVID epoch horror of the last 4 years. But I get these little intuitions of like, something wonderful's coming your way, Tanya. And if something wonderful's coming my way, I'm pretty sure something wonderful was going to manifest in, the collective and planet Earth, other people's lives as well. I don't know what or when, and I do get a bit Pollyanna at times, but I can almost tangibly grab at it. It's so close. So let's pray that it's something lovely for us, each soul individually and as a collective. I'm praying as usual for my true love partnership, but at the moment I have to focus on getting my health right because I'm really struggling today. I just started that new medication, solifenacin, and I stopped taking, today, the mirabegron, and my GP said my blood pressure's a little bit elevated. He said it's probably just stress. No, it's probably from the fucking 53 days of mirabegron. I knew it wouldn't be any good for me. Nothing works on me, and it didn't actually achieve what it was designed to do, and instead I've got slightly elevated blood pressure and feel like hell. Anyway, that will wash out over time. I don't know how long it will take for that to wash out since I've replaced it with yet another medication. Not happy about that, but we've got to try all avenues to calm my bladder down before reverting to the last ditch stand, which is Botox, which I'm also not keen on the idea. 10 injections of botulism injected into your bladder is every 6 to 9 months. Doesn't feel like a whole lot of fun, really. But if it works, yeah, great. That'll be fun. I might get some sleep and be normal again. Also, I might not. But anyway, life goes on, baby girls and baby boys. Just keep breathing, keep living your best life no matter what. I can't sleep, but I slept away 3 decades. Sad but true. So it's all good. I will eventually close my eyes and open them in another dimension. But I am not focusing on that anymore. I'm fully calibrated and connected to life with all its whimsy and fripperies and trickeries. I am excited. I don't even know what is ahead of me, but I feel hopeful and excited. Perhaps things will finally fall into place and my love is finally accepted and respected, and my life will finally make perfect sense. Perhaps. And I'm certainly seeing that manifest for me beautifully in the last 6 months. So long may it continue, my beautiful ones. It's been astonishing to see how much love has been presented to me, really heartfelt and beautifully by true loving friends since Beauregard's death on the 1st of August last year. It's been gorgeous and astonishing that only really happened after such a terrible loss. But I am grateful and I do appreciate it, and we still have our little baby Charlie to love here, so all is not completely lost. But anyway, I continue reading. 14th of March 2022. I'm breaking into a sweat even though I've got the aircon on. I'm having some kind of, let's go get my fan, some kind of struggle going on here. I haven't been to the pharmacy yet to fill my script, so I guess it can wait a few days. It doesn't have to happen right now. The main thing is that I got them now. I was getting a bit worried what would happen if I run out of Ventolin and have a massive fucking asthma attack. But so I'm prepared like a Girl Scout. I'm all prepared. And life is beautiful, people. Life is beautiful. Just watching my neighbour pointing to an aeroplane or a chopper or something, showing his little boy a helicopter going past. Right, where were we? Me having some kind of menopausal hot flush and now cold chill as well. I'm not sick per se, I'm just exhausted, bloody exhausted. Anyway, carry on. 14th of March 2022, so 2 years ago. This morning I had a visit from a beautiful young Muslim woman who represents the Islamic Women's Association of Australia. They are offering me cleaning services as a government agency and possibly, if I need extra help, lawn mowing. Yes! That's how badly I need regular lawn mowing to happen here. I'm going to try to persevere with the lawn mowing as I have bought the mower, but it is a great struggle. I ended up selling it and putting it towards my silversmithing equipment because couldn't do the work, just wasn't strong enough physically to be able to do it. I'm grateful for the assistance with cleaning, as that too is getting more difficult with my lungs and aging. I was rather amused when Fatima arrived in my home and said, "Wow, you have a museum. I took that as a compliment. My collections of interesting clutter are indeed splendid. She loved my dining table and said it looked vintage. I told her that I had decoupaged it myself. I joked that I live in a vintage house, and being rather vintage myself, I went for the matching vintage look. She told me she thought it was a lovely house. I have worked so hard on various art projects for the past decade, but it's lovely that people can see the beauty in them. 14th of March 2021, 11:11 p.m. I am so grateful and humbled at the immense support of my gracious, beautiful, soulful friends, and to the spirits and ancestors that love us. I am grateful to be blossoming more and more in my own spirit. Life is beautiful. I am filled with childlike wonder and with delight. It is a new paradigm focused more and more on love from the supernal realms and love that emanates on an atomic level from our very own life force, or chi. I have been granted more life on this planet than I ever dreamed possible, and I pray I leave a mark, a signature, a signpost of bright, beautiful consciousness on this sacred space. This planet, this land, sea and air, this life, L'chaim. One 11 p.m. What's going on? Feeling very drained. Gonna lie in my hammock. So it's interesting that I saw those 111 numbers twice that day. Little synchronicities along the way to remind me that there is a higher power in charge of our planet and indeed universe, and little reminders to sit up and take notice when there are cosmic shifts happening. There's a spider on my desk and Charlie's peering at it, and I don't know if he's a poisonous spider or not. I hope she doesn't try and eat it because he might bite her. But no, she wasn't stupid. She just had a good look at him and left him be. But yeah, there he is. I've had a few redbacks found on my steps and amongst my pots, so I don't like killing spiders, even the poisonous ones, but I had to kill them because I worry about they're kind of spreading exponentially, and I worry about them. What's going on with my neighbours here? I worry about them biting someone, is what I was about to say. Here's a photo speaking about biting things. My beautiful Beauregard. My beautiful boy with a big smile on his face there. Anyway, he really loved Charlie, and Charlie really loved him too. Didn't you, Charlie? You loved a Bobo. I know, you did. He was actually very protective of her too. He could hear when the crows were sometimes ganging up on her, and he'd run to the back door, and then I'd run after him, and sure enough, there'd be 2 or 3 crows they never attack her, but they were kind of hounding her at times, I think for food or just stirring her up a bit. Do you want to come to Mum? Come on. Come on. Up? No? Okay. 14th of March 2020. Don't worry about Spider. I don't think he's poisonous. He's just doing his thing. Leave him alone. He'll eat some horrible, creepy thing that I don't want here either. and it's a circle of life, Charlie. 14th of March 2020. Home from a great night dancing. I hesitated to go out this evening, but I'm glad I did, which would have meant that I wasn't feeling all that well, and so sometimes I think, I'll stay home, and then I'm always glad when I go out because I always have a really fabulous time, right? The only times I stay home is when I'm really I got the flu or something yucky, like when I caught COVID last year. Sunlight with Vicks on my chest is very soothing when I have chronic bronchitis. And my friend Morris Mohanan Minchiatu asked, from where do you buy Vicks? And I replied, the chemist, Vicks Vapor Rub. It's good when you have sinus infections too. Put a little under each nostril, or put some in a large stainless steel bowl with boiling water, then put a towel over your head and breathe in the steam. He replied, we have Vicks in India and we use it regularly. I never knew Vicks was available here in Australia. I replied, there was an article I posted with my comment on the status update, but it did not copy across. Odd. But the article was on how doctors treated the Spanish flu and also TB by putting sick patients out in the fresh air and sunshine. This was before antibiotics became popular. I know this is true as my grandfather, Erich Meyer, was sent to a sanatorium in the Harz Mountains in Bavaria. And the reason for that was so he could breathe fresh mountain air. But unfortunately, the tuberculosis was too advanced and he died just before the war in Germany ended on the 12th of April, 1945, which also happens to be my birthday. So my mother was always depressed on my birthday as it was her father's death date, or as we call it in Hebrew, Yahrzeit, well Yiddish really, Yahrzeit. The anniversary of someone's death. I feel like Spider's walking on me. Is he? Is it my petticoat? No, he's not. I don't mind spiders running around the house, but I'm not all that keen when they crawl on me. They're just saying. Maybe he's a money spider. Ooh. But I don't think so. They're smaller and cuter. Anyway. He can do his little spidery thing and I'll do my little human thing. And Charlie will do her little rainbow lorikeet thing and everyone will win. I said to Morris, and continuing on with our messaging, Vicks has always been available here. It comes in a blue plastic container. I need to buy a new one as mine was out of date by about 4 years, so has lost its potency. You can also make your own chest rubs from chili, etc. Pardon me. Morris replied, I'm happy to know that Vicks is available here. Also, cold season is coming, so it will really be useful for me. And I replied, it's always worth having in the bathroom cabinet. Also deep heat for muscle strains. Also Epsom salts. I buy Epsom salt in bulk at produce places. It is very expensive to buy in small quantities at chemists. But I started taking magnesium tablets orally as well. And I probably should do that again because I feel very wrung out at the moment. And then my cousin Megan wrote, and in New Zealand, meaning she's chiming in that Vicks has always been available in New Zealand too. Here I write, still in 2020, I want my bird back. And Rachel Finucci asked, what happened? And I said, he vanished from the garden. This is when I thought that Charlie was male. He can't fly far, so this means he has either died, I can't find his body, or someone has stolen him. But that seems weird, as they would have taken his cage as well. And she replied, oh no, were his wings clipped? And I said, no, as he can't fly properly anyway. I feel fucking cursed by the gods, what with losing Becky in January 2019, then Betty in September 2019, then Sophie Cat in December 2019, now Charlie. It's too bloody much. Rachel wrote back, if he was picked up, they may not want a cage. I hope you find him either way. Hope he doesn't pine. I'm so very, very sorry about this sad news. When did this happen? And I replied, today. But who would steal a pet bird? And then she wrote back, okay, then there is time. I'll put a good word in. And she said, the people are lowlifes. I said, please pray he comes home. And Morris wrote, is he comfortable with others handling him in case if someone tried to steal him, will he make some noise? I replied, he does not like men at all, but he likes women. Rachel replied, so true, if has been taken by someone, he won't be happy till he is back with Tanya. I really hope he is home soon. And I replied, I think maybe a wild bird has taken him as he never leaves the garden. No body. It's bizarre. And then my friend Nigel wrote, I have prayed for your bird. So all my friends were just as distraught as I, all praying, and their prayers worked, by the way, because, hello, here she is, the little munchkin. Scared her mother half out of her mind, as only she can do. Morris asked, sorry about asking this question, but does your neighbours have cats? Because there are a lot of chances where cats do attack birds. And I replied, yes, but cats are scared of Charlie. And my friend Louise Winton in Manchester, who's actually Irish, wrote, sorry to read about Charlie. Kiss, kiss, kiss. So we're all they were so wonderful, my friends, pulling together, encouraging me, thinking, absolutely distraught, thinking I'd lost her forever, right? Here I posted, Charlie has gone missing from the garden. I've been calling him and searching under all the trees. He can't fly, so it is alarming as he can't simply disappear. I've even looked for his body in the event he got attacked by other birds. No sign of him anywhere. I pray he comes back soon, as it's almost sundown. Update, 14th of March 2021. Charlie came back 2 days later, found by the Scott family down the road. Back then, I still thought Charlie was a boy, but on the 28th of December, she laid 2 eggs, so now she is Charlie, EY. Weird little magical bird. I am so grateful our prayers are answered and she came home to me. One of my biggest, most soul-nourishing loves. Yes, Charlie. Here I posted a lovely quote, a piece of prose written by Sheliana Ayana, or Shelina Ayana. I'm not sure how you pronounce her first name, but anyway, I'll read it out to you because I copied it and pasted it because I thought it was brilliant. Men may think a wild woman is a woman to be feared. They think, oh, she's a wild woman. That must mean she's dangerous. She's probably crazy, too much to handle. And in a sense, it's true. She's too much for someone who isn't ready to show up fully and check their ego at the door. She's too much for someone who would rather have small talk than go deep. She's too much if you expect her to hold back her anger or her sadness or pain to protect you from seeing her in her chaos. But trust this. A wild woman is the safest type of woman you'll ever meet. She doesn't hold back. There are no surprises. You'll meet her and she'll let you see her for who she is. She trusts her own worthiness enough to reveal herself to you and let you decide whether or not you'd like to walk with her. She doesn't hide parts of herself in an attempt to keep your love because she doesn't have time for connections that lack depth and meaning. A wild woman will invite you to love all parts of yourself. She'll accept you in that place because she has done the work to accept herself there. And my beautiful friend Rachel Walsh, whom I know from Facebook, who lives down in Lismore, wrote, "Love this, Tanya." And I replied, "It's true and beautiful, innit?" And she replied, "Yes, most definitely. A lot of people find it difficult when with a woman who is direct. They get kind of shocked of our truthfulness." And I replied, "Rachel Walsh, I am a prophetess of truth, a warrior goddess of light and occasional smite, but never spite, a lover of human evolution and decency and integrity, a fool and a daughter of death who keeps killing my most precious and most beloved pets. But yes, I remain wild in my heart and spirit." And here I posted a lovely photo. Kind of have to laugh. Still in 2020. This was before Charlie went walkabout, by the way. Good morning from Charlie and the Tanya at Sacred Space. And here she is today. Mama's little Betty. Come on, up you come. Here we go. Here we go, little Snooky. I knew you were going to do that. No sooner I get you on my shoulder, oh big crapola, you'd be eating watermelon. Now you're doing big pink poos. Big pink psychedelic poos. The other day you had grapes and your poopykins were all green. That was special, wasn't it? She's like, "Yes, Mama, that was very special." You have to laugh. Here's another photo of my beautiful soulmate, Penny, just sitting at my back door, musing about something, whatever it is pussycats muse about. There's Charlie. 14th of March 2019. Can I just have my hair back? Thanks. Good girl. The storm is finally here. I feel exhausted and wrung out after a very hot day. 2:24 a.m. Let the dog outside to pee. Bugger all rain. The ground was barely wet. Ropeable. I will have to do a rain dance soon. My poor garden. I know that sounds like cultural appropriation, but as a kind of an urban shaman, I do the occasional rain dance. It's one of my magical practices that probably isn't just exclusive to Native American peoples, but it is, powwows and Native American rain dances are very famous for working very, very well. So with positive vibes and positive intent, I put the energy into it from time to time, and 9 times out of 10 does assist. I'm a little bit of a weather witch in a way. I was kind of born that way, I suppose. Not sleeping well either, as I have an appointment at the hospital in the morning, pre-booking for the colonoscopy next Thursday. Oh dear goddess, I'm glad I refused to have any more of those. They used to make me so ill for months after. Absolutely debilitating they were. Here we have, in 2019, Socks has been AWOL for 2 days. I'm starting to worry. He does this occasionally. What is it about you pets going AWOL at the change of the season when autumn comes, running amok? Well, anyway, poor Soxy is in Valhalla now. Thank you for not going missing again this year, Charlie. Gave me an awful fright back in 2020 when you pulled that stunt. Here I write, he finally came home just now, my friend Kellyanne wrote. Cheeky bugger. But here, he was a wonderful cat, really. But he used to like to. What kind of spider are you? Trying to get a good look at it, walking around. I don't think he's a redback because he's got the wrong body shape for it. Hope it's not dangerous. Anyway, I don't like killing spiders. I used to kill them all the time, and I've killed 3 today because they were redbacks, but I don't enjoy killing them. If they weren't right on the steps where people walk up and down, I would have let them live, but they're in a place where they're liable to bite someone, and that could be most unpleasant. 14th of March 2017. Jared did some Ancestry.com super sleuthing and has found my great-grandmother. We need to check all the details before we add her details to my family tree, but it is very interesting and cool. From the comments section, my German mother's side, which has been difficult as the records are written in Old German script, so hard to decipher and need translating, so it is exciting. He also found more information on my mother's biological father. He had been married twice before he fathered Gisela. The first wife must have divorced him as she lived to 76. His second wife poisoned herself about 9 months after her third baby died days after her birth. Postnatal depression, grief, trauma. I had wondered why a 27-year-old woman would suicide. Antoni Petula raised the 2 older children by himself. His daughter died aged 23, that's Margarita Petula, died aged 23 in an air raid shelter bombing. Tragic. His son lived until his late 70s, meeting my mother shortly before his death from skin cancer in 1997. His name was Hans Peter. Was it Hans Peter? Sorry, no, that's not right. Hans Petula. Sorry, I mixed that up because my half-sister's father was Hans Peter as well, short for Johannes. But yes, my uncle was called Hans as well. I have not been able to trace his son, Tasia, even though Crystal's in Europe. She has not made much effort. Irritating, but you get that. My mother believed Tasia to be very ill, needing dialysis, so perhaps he died not long after his father. Question mark, that should have a question mark since I really don't know what happened. Anyway, lots of suicide in my maternal line. My grandmother, my mother's father's second wife, my mother's first husband's second wife, generational trauma, that should say intergenerational trauma, poor health, etc., etc. Plus they had all gone through that horrific war in Germany, which was just as unpleasant for German citizens as it was for Allied citizens, just saying. Not a nice event in the history of our planet. Life is for the living, but death curls its fingers in our hair and licks our eyeballs regularly, a constant companion. I am out of bed, eagerly awaiting the impending storm. So far, just a light sprinkle. Lady Rain needs to shake those skirts a little more vigorously. I want a proper, precipitous, felicitous downpouring of delight. Pain in my left leg still intense. I will have to go see my idiot doctor who tells me it's all in my mind. It has been a week now and the pain has not lessened at all. And it took a lot. It took a great deal, but I eventually sacked that doctor. She really was a monster. So there you have it. From the comment section. Okay, interesting. Several things of note. My rage is not unconscious. It is very real and brought to the surface by news of my father's recent death, which caused within a few days this terrible sciatic pain. Grief seems to often bring about injury or illness to the body. I hurt myself by gardening like a mad woman after my mother died. My own psychiatrist tore his rotator cuff while exercising in his gym after his mother died. And now this event after my father died. The pain is real and intense, although technically there is nothing wrong with my back. I do have crushed L4 and L5 discs in my lower spine. By crushed, they're not completely crushed, but they press down on the, what's left of the discs. And I often struggle with lower back pain, people. I know there is nothing wrong, as I was able to dance like a maniac on acid, Panadine Fort, and 1 drink of Jack Daniels, and the rest of the night drinking water on Friday night. Naturally, due to the intense, passionate exercise, meaning the wild dancing, not any other kind of exercise, just saying, I was unable to move or stay awake much on Saturday, and then in post-recovery shock on Sunday night. Oh, Charlie, that's so naughty. This was a lovely dress I had on yesterday and today. Dear Goddess. Where was I? I can't remember where I was. So I might repeat that just again because I'm lost in space right now. I spent Monday resting quietly with Jared, although still in a lot of pain. That means we would have just hung around the house and watched TV or something. He's a very dear friend to me, very loving and supportive of me. I'm so grateful for my beautiful friends. I really am. I look like a fucking death warmed up today. I look like a ghost. But anyway, there's nothing I can do about my bladder playing up all night long. There's nothing I can do. I just have to live like this. And I'm not sure I can hold on much longer, quite frankly. But anyway, every day in every way, I am healing my body, mind and spirit to the 10th generation before me. So, not sure what, if anything, my doctor can do. As it has not improved in a week, I am a tad worried. This was my terrible leg pain I was experiencing in 2017 and 18 and 19. Jesus. Maybe I won't bother seeing my doctor at all. I might just get some more strong painkillers and sleep more. I feel a bit hammered as I had 2 months of tooth pain, then got sick from the aspartame and the Berocca the dentist recommended. Then was just starting to feel a bit better. Then this new illness hit with a vengeance, but it will pass. And it took quite some time, but it did eventually ease. Yes, IBS, back pain, all connected, mind-gut connection. My psych tells me to eat more yogurt and probiotics, fermented vegetables, to heal my intestines, as that heals depression, etc. He suggested psyllium husk for my gut to lower my cholesterol instead of my GP putting me on Lipitor. So far, so good. I just need the pain and tightness to go away in my leg. Then life will be bearable again, no pun intended. Since I have to bear my own weight on my own 2 feet and legs, and have had to hold myself up since childhood, as I was surrounded by people who constantly strove to beat me down into the ground. My father had a history of deep vein thrombosis, so this pain is mirroring his life condition. He is just dragging on my energy. I release him. He has no place or space in my life. And I replied to my former friend Heather, thanks Heather, I will heal. I am healed, doing remarkably well, all things considered, smiley face. And here I am 2024, still doing remarkably well, all things considered. I don't think I can smile right now, I'm too wrung out, but it's not so bad. Tomorrow, if I feel a bit better by 11 p.m, I'll be out dancing. Got to keep moving the old body and keep pushing all the dark demons of despair away and all the dibble-cume attachments, push them away and fight through it and dance wildly and get my body strong enough and fit enough to eliminate the sleep apnea, so that might take a bit more pressure off my bladder, right? So my friend Scott recently invited me to come to more gigs, and I said I was quite willing to do so, but I was wondering through the week, thinking about it, where I'll summon up the extra energy. But no, I think it's the right course of action. I will have to force myself out into the world and dance more often than just the one night a week, even though it kills me, because the more I dance, the fitter I'll get and the stronger I'll get. And if I don't blow out some other very important organs from overexerting myself, which is actually a risk, people, I will heal my body, mind and spirit and have a semblance of a normal life at last. Or so I hope and pray. But I know that I'm utterly depleted after, my Friday night dancing. So I'm sort of hesitant as to how I'll go dancing two nights, both Friday and Saturday. But anyway, I'll decide how I feel. Tomorrow I'll just dance the one night, and then potentially I'll dance 2 nights next week. But I'll see how I feel. If I'm struggling as badly as I've been this week, I may not go dancing at all. I may even take a little bit of a break, because I have to exist in this body and not overdo it either. Yes, Charlie. 14th of March 2016. Appointment for doctor made. Now schwitzing in my kitchen, that means sweating, listening to Bobo chew his bone. Happy little fella. By the gods and goddesses, it is hot. Time to move outside and get some sun on my chest. So if I needed sun on my chest, that means I was struggling with bronchitis or asthma at the same time too. Beauregard loves his dips in his clam pool now. He was in and out of it all day yesterday. Mama is a bit jealous. She needs to manifest a decent above-ground pool and a fence and pay for a man in a bobcat to level the ground and electricity to service the pool at the rear garden. That alone will cost just over $1,000. Big dreams are free until you make them a reality. I really need to win lotto, people. Buy my own house with a nice swimming pool. But I have to also live in the real world and accept what is handed to me by the gods and not grumble too much and keep dreaming about my lovely swimming pool, I suppose. You have to laugh. Here I write, maybe I should just focus my attention on winning lotto to buy a big house and garden in Byron Bay, preferably near the sea. Well, I don't need a big house now that I'm old and on my own, do I? But a nice house with a swimming pool would be lovely. But gambling is a giant waste of resources. Oh well, next big lotto I might buy a ticket if I have a spare $11. If you don't buy the occasional ticket, you have zero chance to win, but you get to buy a meal. And gambling's a fool's game anyway, it really is. Much rather have a nice meal for $11. Not that you can buy much for $11 these days. But anyway. I stored the store under my house for 2 years, hoping to use it as an outdoor table when the other one finished rotting out. But alas and alack, this rosewood door is made from chipboard and cardboard. So only the lead light is worth keeping. So I'm struggling to remove the second window for repurposing later, maybe. In the meantime, I require a solid timber door. Actually, no, but I do require a very large, nice wooden entertainment table, like the one I got in 2007 that was put out on the side of the road. Given, and I grabbed it and it was wonderful. Could do with another setting like that. But that was a fortunate gift from the multiverses. Can't always bargain on that, people. Anyway, if anyone has one spare and is willing to give it to me or sell it cheap, I would be grateful. Thanks. Taking a break as my lungs did not like my efforts to saw the other window out. Now gasping and sweating. Blech. And it's kind of funny because I'm sawing it out with a rusted old saw I'd found off the side of the road, which wasn't exactly sharp. And I'm struggling with my one-woman band creativity. It gets a bit crazy, people. Even I have to laugh at myself sometimes. But at least I tried, right? At least I bloody tried. I had really intense dreams this morning. I dreamt I was walking around in Jindalee or Mount Omni area, where Brisbane Jury traditionally lives. I was lost and in a fugue state, i.e. functioning like a zombie, lights on, but nobody home. I was looking at my GPS on my iPhone 1 minute, looking for main roads to get myself on a bus home. I kept blacking out and becoming aware when I had walked into several glamorous homes. Some of the owners had noticed me aimlessly walking around their gardens and had invited me home. I would get into a panic that I didn't know how I got there and would empty my pockets to show the homeowner I had not come to steal and would leave. No one seemed terribly upset by my appearance in their homes. In the last home, the family were Jewish, as I wished them happy Hanukkah as they had their Chanukiah lit. The wife was in her mid-30s and dressed beautifully. They were preparing for a party. She had several small children and a new puppy. I woke up when she explained that I was welcome to stay for dinner if I cleaned the bathroom for her. I felt happy to do so took a cloth and started cleaning the toilet. I then started on the showers, huge, massive showers you could fit 3 or 4 people in. I then moved into an adjoining room that had 2 fireplaces painted in really Mexican or Gaudi type bright colours with little sculptures of birds, flowers and other animals. I cleaned the grottos as they were dusty. It must have been the children's playroom as they came and went grabbing toys. Another woman came in to observe me cleaning. She asked me what I was doing. I replied I was working off my dinner and I was hungry and lost and didn't know how to get home, so I was glad to be of service. She rang the police and they arrived to take me to hospital and kept mentioning a doctor by name. Obviously, the homeowner had a psychiatrist too. I got upset and stated, but my doctor is Dr. and I gave my real psychiatrist's actual name, which you don't need to know his name for privacy reasons. So I escaped. I was leaving by the back door when I met the puppy. I think it was a Dachshund, or in English, Dachshund. I tripped over it a bit, gave it a pat, and ran down the street. It's interesting that I'm always tripped over by a very German-looking dog. And that dream I've just realised was a little kind of bit prescient, because in February 2020 I went to a meeting run by the Jewish Board of Deputies to organise starting up the Holocaust Museum here in Brisbane, and I was completely humiliated and degraded and insulted by various members of that board, and indeed one of the board members that was present was a female psychiatrist from Israel. So there's elements of this dream that actually came true. Astonishing, because I've only just realised that. Then another fugue state. This is still talking about the dream I was having. And the dream shifted to me standing in front of this beautiful scenery on top of a steep incline, the road curving round and the land dropping away. I was in a van with a guy my age who said he was going to kill himself by driving over the edge. I said it was a flawed idea. He might survive it. Sounds like something I'd actually say too, my dry sense of humour. But I said I might stand halfway down the hill so he could hit me as he lurched down to the bottom. He agreed, so I got out of the van and waited downhill. He came speeding off the road, and as we agreed, the van lurched towards me. I stood stoic and still, waiting for impact, looking right at the driver with this immaculate feeling of peace. But at the last moment, he swerved and missed me. I was like, wow, what a letdown. He had chickened out on taking me with him to Valhalla. I stood rooted to the land a few more moments, then shrugged and climbed up the hill. The dream did not show me what happened to the guy in the van. I assume he survived too. The colours of the grass and the light, almost yellow, were a very good omen. Sunshiny, happy, bright colours. Although you gotta wonder when you even dream of fugue states and suicide. All I can say is lack of oxygen makes my subconscious mind go into overdrive. Wow. The house I was cleaning was amazing. I loved the artwork. So let me just scroll back. I want to know what year that was that I had that dream. Where are we? 14th of March 2016. So it's kind of fascinating that on the 25th of June 2019, only 3 years later, I did almost die post-surgery, post having my gallbladder out, because the anaesthetic drugs shut down my respiratory system with my sleep apnea, and I did stop breathing briefly. So it's kind of interesting that that dream 3 years, just over 3 years prior, was about me deciding to suicide with some other man who was suicidal, and it failing. It was a little bit prescient too. Not that I had that surgery as a suicide, but it was a necessary surgery. But I had the same feeling when I came back from that near-death experience of being quite pissed off and astonished that I hadn't died, actually, because it was very, very, very close. And I was actually quite relieved to think at last I'll be out of the constant agony and torture and ill health and loneliness and difficulties and poverty and not being able to find a love partner and my kids being awful to me. I was actually quite welcoming of death at that point in time. But here I am, 5 years later, after the gallbladder surgery. Not quite 5 years, it'll be 5 years in June. And I'm happy, I'm in love with life, I'm in love with my beautiful platonic friends. I'm even considering dancing more often, that they keep asking me to come Saturday nights as well. And I'm surrounded by great love, and I am grateful and happy with that. I just need to get some decent sleep one day, and I'll be even more grateful and happy because I'll be able to function better in day-to-day life. Anyway, I've got to go and have a blood test. I might, if I get up early enough tomorrow. I suspect it'll be a fasting one because he's got to check my lipids as well. So maybe if I get organised, I'll get up early tomorrow and have it done. Otherwise, it'll have to wait till Monday. Certainly wouldn't hurt to have a check-up on, see what's going on with me anyway. I feel very, very fucking depleted. Depleted but not defeated, right? 14th of March 2015, 3:03 a.m, home safe. I've had a little epiphany arriving home. I was thinking about what it is that makes so many women friends turn vicious on me with utter envy and loathing. It will always confuse me as to how this keeps happening. Heather said I make people hate me, antagonize them. Wasn't very nice, was it? This was supposed to be one of my best friends. Fuck. Anyway, these were pretty much my own mother's words when I got bullied almost every day at school. It was always my fault. I did something wrong. I deserved it. It's called gaslighting, scapegoating, victim blaming of the narcissist, right? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. One day, my bastard mother got sick of me coming home tired, beaten down, depressed, with scuffed shoes. Bear in mind, at that point in time, I was 11 years old and living in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. And we were living in Elwood, and I was going to school at St Kilda Primary School, which was just the most violent, horrible environment full of bullies. Horrible fucking kids went there. It was a very rough school. And in true Tanya form, I was holding my own and fending them off most days, but I would get exhausted and depressed from it. Like who wouldn't? It was enough to try the patience of a saint. And Mama T, even at age 11, was no saint and was fighting for my very existence, by the way. She waited for me to come home that day, down the road from our apartment, so she could observe what was going on. It was actually quite clever of my mother to finally take a bit of fucking interest in my welfare, by the way. She didn't really give a flying fuck about me under ordinary circumstances, I can assure you. So I'm fairly certain she had direct orders from my teacher, who could see I was being completely victimised in that school. My mother had ordered me to not fight back, stop being the aggressor. I was have never been the aggressor. But when I finally snap, then it's on. My mother watched me walking home with my midget bully brat bitch stepping on the back of my heels like a fucked up terrier, nipping at my ankles, calling me names, baiting me. This little girl from my class, right? Little redhead girl. Nothing against redheads, but she was a little bastard, that kid. Oh, it was so hard to not beat the living bejesus out of her. But I knew if I turn into that kind of monster, I'll never be able to stop, because I'd had a lifetime of trauma already by age 11. I ignored it with teeth clenched and fists clenched. I walked right past my mother, rolled my eyes. She stopped me short, yelled, "Go home, Tanya." I made eye contact. Rare to see my mother ever actually defend me. I went home. The snot-nosed brat never bothered me again. Shortly after that, my teacher, who came from Minneapolis, Missouri, begged my mother to take me out of St Kilda Primary School and lie about the zoning so I could go back to Caulfield State Primary, where the kids were slightly more civilised. But it was always my fault. So tonight I was harassed by another inadequate, chewy stuffed toy spat out by a Rottweiler, Lana, whose real name ironically is Leanne, trying to make herself feel a little bit posh, right? Changing her name to Lana. Fucking creep it was. Anyway, she's standing there faking vomiting at me and sneering and being otherwise a primitive little primate, squatting and grunting in front of me with her public displays of hatred. She literally squatted and grunted like an animal. I mean, the thing was mad, wasn't it? Or it was demonic ridden, I'm not sure which. Maybe both. Mad and demonic. She is just another tragic, pathetic excuse of a woman. Just another bully. Then it hit me. She's envious as she lacks maturity, class, dignity, and courage. She needs her little retinue of cohorts to point and laugh like the circus monkeys they are. She had to wait until they all left her behind to approach me. Thinks she is so brave and so tough. All she has managed to prove to me by her pink-assed display, like by that I meant like a bonobo monkey, by the way, is she is insane and weak. Too much Botox has eaten her brain. Poor creature, probably has early onset Korsakoff's. So you can also imagine my horror about the prospect of having 10 Botox injections put into my bladder every 6 to 9 months to quell my nervous system signalling in my bladder down, because Botox, my friends, is botulism, and it may seize the bladder from the constant contractions, but it can't be very good for me in other ways. Just look at Lana, who constantly fixed her fucking face with it, the stupid cow. I actually joked with my urologist. I said, I don't need Botox in my bladder. I need a Restylane to fill in this frickin' frown line here. And even she burst out laughing. I mean, if I was going to spend $1,000, it'd be for a full fucking facelift, people. I guess facelifts cost more than $1,000. I'm out of touch with reality, people. I've been poor for too long. But I don't actually really look forward to having Botox shoved up my cloaca, just saying. Even if it's going to work, it's still a horrifying concept, because I'll have to be put under anaesthetic every 6 to 9 months, which puts me at risk of my lungs shutting down and me dying. And so there is that. And yes, I worry about the side effects of having botulism squirted into me with monotonous regularity. But I guess here we are, baby girls and baby boys. We all die of something, and maybe that's how I go, right? With my Botox and my fanny, going out in a blaze of glory in Pandora's box. I mean, you have to laugh. Here I continue writing. I will rise above her ugly soul and ugly warped mind, as I have risen above 1,000 others. More than 1,000, by the way. The woman is sick and needs to be pitied. Her bitterness will kill her if the booze doesn't. I hope she rots in hell. As for me, I will do what I always do. Keep dancing, keep living, and keep not giving a fuck. I gave these creeps my time and my kindness, and this is how I am rewarded. As for deserving the abuse, the bullying, the envy, the pathetic acting out of degenerates, why, darlings, all I have to do is show up. Funny old world. At least I have my cats. And now I don't even have them. But at least we've still got you, Charlie. We've still got the Charlie girl. You love Mama T, don't you? Yes, you do, even though you poopy on me all night, all day and all night. You do love the Mama T. You got to go to bed, Charlie. Mama's got to put you in your bed, your cage, and go to sleep for the night. Nearly finished, Charlie. 2:30 a.m. on the bus heading home in a great deal of pain. Got harassed by Lana thing again, because it's just not human, really. You can't identify with it as a human. It was bestial is what it was. The woman is pathetic. She didn't stop me enjoying my night out, which made her even more enraged. Putrid woman. I hope the court throws the book at her but I doubt they will do much. The Live Wire bar was quiet tonight. Odd vibe, but I danced anyway. There are a few nice people I danced with, but I mostly stayed on my own. Safer that way. Update 14th of March 2020. Those were the days, my friends. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We live the life we choose. We'd fight but never lose. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. And that's my dark sense of humour, but I'm still dancing, babies. I'm still living my very best life, even in the face of my own decrepitude and declension and almost obliteration. Mama T still dresses up, shows up, and dances wildly and joyously for as long as she can, because every day and every way I'm going to live my best life, and life is a precious gift, people. It's a pity I didn't get to share it with a loving partner who adores me and is loyal and faithful to me and is affectionate and a wonderful lover and generous and sweet. But those weren't the cards that were dealt me, so I don't crawl around slathering in evil and bitterness like people like Lana and Dave Charles and Sarah Burt. No. I just put on a nice frock, put on some nice shoes, and I dance my shamanic dance until I can't dance anymore with exhaustion. And then I go home and I recover and I go out and do it all over again the following Friday. So I'm going to try and go to bed early tonight because tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow night's my shamanic dancing night. And I like to keep up my wild dancing because I derive a lot of pleasure from it. "14th of March 2014. Oh dear, I want to go out now. Even though I'm tipsy on cheap wine and need to save my energy reservoirs for tomorrow's mojo burning." So you can see here, even back in 2014, which is 10 years ago, I was still having to carefully calibrate and parcel out how much energy expenditure I was going to put into things so I could wrest enjoyment from my life and still go dancing but not be too completely depleted after. I've been banking my energy like that for, as you can see, decades, the last decade at the very least. What, Charlie? Oh my God, I need to talk to Denature of the Train, who was a friend of mine on Pal Talk, as she always sends me extra mojo when I'm depleted for my wild man-hunting nights back in those days when I was actually really looking for a partner, actually putting effort into looking for a partner, which I don't bother with now. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered with time wasters and fake people, and I'm kind of over it. But in those days, I was out there dancing, but hoping quite eagerly to find the one. Well, I didn't find the one. I found the many, and not one of them was man enough or decent enough or honouring enough to take me on as their partner. They just wanted to use and abuse. So that's the other reason why I stopped all that, because I have no interest in being used and abused by some low-level entity that can't even invite me out nicely and, treat me with basic respect and honour and integrity. So that's why I am single today, darlings, 10 years later. and no regrets either. No regrets. Here I continue to write. Alas, she is transgender. Her mojo and my mojo mixed together means I attract a lot of gay men and trannies. Bless her heart. Last night, wearing black jeans, all I attracted were drunk, aggressive men who were in serious need of a punch in the nose, lol. So I'm trying to work out if I should dress all ultra feminine and powerful, corset, big skirt, big earrings, big attitude, or in my jeans again. I don't want to attract more psychos, but hey, there might be some lovely men who know how to treat a woman like me? 4 question marks. Psychedelic dreamer dreams. And as I said earlier in this vlog, I haven't attracted a love partner for a sexual partnership, alas and alack, because I was looking forward to that eventually, maybe manifesting. But I have attracted the most gorgeous, sweet male platonic friends who are sweet to me and look after me in small and quite magical ways, make sure I have a good night and get safe, and even get me, cheaper drinks from time to time. Well, more often than not. So that's very sweet and kind of my beautiful platonic friends. So to you, and in the meantime, the dance continues quite joyously and contentedly and triumphantly and defiantly and magically, because as I said, life is short and it's not all about having a love partner. I mean, I might manifest one. It might be sweet for a while and turn savage like all the others did. So I really kind of can't be bothered investing energy into anything like that ever again. So I am content to have my freedom and my wild dancing and go home and recalibrate and go out and do it again each weekend. That's what I've been left with, people. 29 years of living on my own and staying in my own body, mind and spirit and being circumspect, but at times a bit sweet and romantic and hoping for romance and passion and getting terribly excited by the prospect of it, and then realising, wait a minute, this is just yet another spiralling up, spiralling down, going nowhere. So then I rein it back in and pull all my energies back in and protect my heart. But all through all of that, I keep dancing, no matter what, no matter who, no matter how, unwell I feel some days, because it's about preserving my body autonomy and my body integrity and having that bit of exercise and that bit of joy, listening and dancing to the music and being surrounded by people who are also dancing their dance or playing their music and living their best life. So who are also immersed in their own level of joyfulness, which is delightful, people. Very delightful. Charlie, you got shit going everywhere, baby girl. You're a real little monster at times. Here I write, did I read it before? I can't remember. I'll read it again. Shabbat Shalom, V'chag Sameach Purim, that means Happy Purim. To my Jew crew, Happy Purim. My teeth are hurting, not cool. I will have to get to the dentist next week. Can't go on like this. Hopefully it is just the odd filling on top and the bottom ones are just sensitive. I think I will cancel the appointment for the mandibular splint. I have enough sorrows, that means worries or problems or struggles, with my teeth already. And I did indeed cancel it because I just didn't want to smash my very expensive teeth that I'd spent $10,000 on. With my meagre inheritance that I'd had to fight so long and hard for, wasn't going to crack them on any fandangled ideas that the government might have had for me. Just saying. 2:18 a.m, home from another impromptu wild night out. Crystal came to my place to bring back my car and brought some amazing caramel pie and cakes from Yatala. Yum. Then we went back to her place after going to the chemist so I could buy some more cheap magnifying glasses so I don't look like a misfit with broken glasses anymore. Oops. Still need to sort my glasses, people. It'll happen. Probably, maybe next week I'll get it organised. I had a brief visit with my grandson Ramon the rare rabbit, and decided as I was near the city to go dancing at Irish Murphy's as Jabba were playing for St. Paddy's weekend festivities, although they normally play on Thursday nights. I had this daggy dress on, so I borrowed Crystal's True Blood off-the-shoulder t-shirt. I loved that t-shirt. Black jeans and her blue pointy high-heeled knee-length boots. I looked fucking fabulous, by the way. I borrowed some of her makeup too, and off I went for my big night out. Wow, wildness and anarchy. No sooner had I walked in the door to the pub, I was welcomed by my friends Ron and Chrissy, who were dancing wildly, so I joined in. We had the best time, apart from a few creeps that decided to sexually harass me. I was warily keeping an eye out the whole time and was doing my best to keep out of their way. Ron bought me 2 drinks, a Jack Daniels and later a shot. Then I drank water with ice as I was hot and sweaty from dancing. My hair was saturated. So here's the weird part. Some youngish guy comes up behind me as I was dancing and puts his arm around my shoulder from behind. So I look at him and spin him around like a girl and push him away from me. He kept trying to get me to dance with him throughout the night, but I was seriously not interested. Then 2 older creeps kept moving in on my spot, so I had to back away from them, and finally one of them points to his ugly, fat tackle and yells out to me that he knows I want him, so I mime throwing up and threw some ice from my drink at him. Very funny. So the young Māori security guard comes in and says he is keeping watch as he noticed they were sexually harassing me. I told him it's a good idea as they were escalating. I said to him, how often do you guys, security, ever see me trawl after the men here? Very rarely, and I rarely get out of control with my drinking. He nodded. He was a nice man, actually, that security guard. I was very grateful that he watched over me, as the place was not busy, but the men were definitely getting more and more feral. Ron and Phil were quietly keeping an eye, but they are used to me looking after myself. So I'm dancing and moshing quietly to Into the Light by Metallica, or is it Into the Night? Into the Night or Into the Light? Oh, well, you know the song. By Metallica, when some asshole dude, a different one this time, leaps almost onto me, so without missing a beat, I raise my right arm and shove him away from me. I look up and he is staring at me in aggression and surprise, so I give him the death stare and he gets the message and backs off. Then later on, some young dude comes in the front door and leaps on me again. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to go back to that place, because they just behaved like fucking animals. It was exhausting, people. This time, I had my back to the door, so didn't see it coming. I spin around, thinking it was either Ron or one of my women friends grabbing me. See, it's a brat, so I literally bend over, think about shouldering him, but he's too tall, so I lift him off his footing and drop him onto the floor. Then I step away as I am blind with fury. Ron leaps in front of me and grounds me by staring into my eyes, and I smile as I realise he's trying to calm me and protect me. So we keep dancing, and in this moment I'm very grateful for my friends in the pub who know how I can get very furious when I feel threatened. So I look to the left, and the young snot brat is licking his wounds in the corner, looking baffled. I go over to the Māori security guard, who is very sweet and protective of me, and I say, "Hey, I'm sorry about dropping that guy, but I don't like being jumped from behind." He smiles, says, "It's okay, I think he got the message." So I nod and go back to dancing. Meanwhile, the sweet, shy guy who bought me 2 drinks on Saturday night was there and kinda watching me. That's Steph. So I went over and thanked him for the drinks the other night, and he was pleased. So later he joined in dancing with me, which was very sweet, as I had already told him the men were acting feral tonight. I thanked him for... Oh, dear goddess. Oh, here we are. I thanked him for dancing with me, and he said, "My absolute pleasure." I thought to myself, uh-oh, better not encourage him either. But he was actually fine. He left around midnight, and I was pleased he didn't get overt and aggressive like the others. Ron and Chrissy and I continued dancing until late in the night. Jabba played till 1 a.m. and we had a fantastic time. So it appears my psychiatrist, as he often is a tad prescient after his comments the other day that I am powerful and men find me exciting. What the fuck? That was a truly weird night, but I still had fun, only because I knew that my beautiful, sexy friends were watching over me and the security were being particularly protective. I told the security guards that the young dark girl who was dancing with 3 men needed watching over as she gets drunk and can't control the men under those circumstances. I said, "She is wild like me, but gets too drunk and can't manage herself." I knew this, as I've danced with her before when she was so out of her mind they had to throw her out. I said, "Keep an eye on her. 1 guy she is with is fine, but 3 is too much." So the young Māori security guard nodded, and I was grateful they watched out for her too. So after all the wild, drunken, sexually overt, cock-supreme antics of the men there, we all managed to have a great time and get home safe and sound. I must say, I really enjoy dancing with Ron the most. He is such a natural ham, and he moves so lithely and energetically, and we build up this amazing energy when we dance. He's a way better dancer than I, as I just gyrate and mosh about, freestyling. But I find it almost trance-like. I always make sure I bring Chrissy into the dancing though, as there is nothing romantic between Ron and I know they are madly in love, but I am afraid she might get jealous about our wild dancing together, which is just joyous and carefree and sweet, but I had such problems with vicious people in that pub scene that I lived in perpetual fear of the evil eye and other women getting envious over what? Nothing. Just me striving, as always, to live my best life. Poor Chrissy had had a wisdom tooth removed today, so she was a bit sore. I skipped a line. To her credit, she never does get jealous, and understands that I just enjoy the dancing. I need to go to the public butcher murder house dentist too, as I have been in a fair bit of pain this evening myself. I think I need that old filling replaced, so Chrissy and I with some patiko for sure. Tomorrow I will be sleeping and resting and dreaming and recuperating, as I am looking forward to Mojo Burning Blues Festival on Saturday, so I will need to build up some more energy to dance there. What shall I wear? 14th of March 2012. So much fun today on Pal Talk. My hand is aching again from typing. So much funny shit to everyone. I started a few pages of my autobiography as well. Ha ha ha. You have to laugh, people. It is funny. 14th of March 2011. Feeling very tired all day today. Going to bed as it's 1:19 a.m. I've been trying to research family history, the German-Polish side. So far, no luck. So frustrating. Oh well, better luck tomorrow. And here I posted a photograph. It's a bit blurry though, you can't really see our faces very well. Of me, aged 11, with my group of friends for my 11th birthday. But yeah, I don't know why I posted such a blurred out photo. It probably wasn't too bad, but when it copied across to Vocal Media, it got distorted, or maybe it was always blurry, but who knows. But anyway, my 11th birthday, 1976, my best friend Margaret in the foreground. Didn't I look sophisticated? My mother always dressed me like a 30-year-old woman. Weird. I looked okay in the tartan taffeta skirt though. This photo was taken at our Elwood apartment, 1114 Milton Street, Elwood, Melbourne, Victoria. This is where I fell in puppy love with a sweet bar mitzvah boy and Judaism in general. Mum used to love to go to the nearby botanical gardens and eavesdrop on all the Yiddish speakers because the words were so similar to Plattdeutsch. She used to tell me what the women were saying, lol. Me standing with our kitten, Magic, who grew up to be a savage, jealous little beast and used to attack me in my bed or when I came home from school, used to slash my tights as I trudged up the stairs. Little monster. He decided he was Mum's cat and I was an interloper. He used to love to piss in my wardrobe and ruined many pairs of shoes, etc. Mum eventually put him to sleep after he drenched a very expensive, rare, thick German tome in piss, and it was ruined completely. This was years after I'd had to endure ruined clothes and shoes and random acts of pussycat violence. I think the cat must have been mad, but he got away with a lot until I left home. Then the axe fell for him. Oh, sometimes I think Mum enjoyed him making my life hell, but when she got a dose of the same medicine, she couldn't take it. Lol. Photo taken outside our home at 382 the Esplanade, Island Bay, Wellington, New Zealand. Across the road is the Island Bay beach. I spent so many happy, safe hours away from my home. Life really was a beach in those days. I could not have survived all the other crap had I not had so much wildness and freedom at my disposal. And here I am. I'm aged 12 there, because it was after we returned from Melbourne, Victoria, so I could attend Wellington Girls College the following year when I turned 13. Yes, Charlie. 14th of March 2010, which was a week after my mother's death. I had a busy day getting lots of pesky little odd jobs done with Jared's help. We had a lovely day, although I was very restless. I planted up the strawberry planter with strawberries, made little signs for my favourite plants and trees, glued some objects together, hung up all my lanterns in the tree in my entertainment area on special hooks I bought recently. I'm proud to have achieved all I wanted to today. So thus concludes today's readings of even date, the 14th of March 2024. And I'm quite tired. I need to get something to eat for dinner. I don't know what though. And probably might watch a bit of TV and go to bed early. But I tried that last night and I was up all night. I was up every 30 to 40 minutes. So my bladder situation is killing me slowly, and it's been 8 years of struggling like this. And I don't think even going dancing more often will resolve it. I think I'm basically fucked, people, quite literally fucked. But anyway, I'm still pumping out these videos each day, leaving pieces of me behind for someone's educational edification, if nothing else, and living in my truth and honour and integrity and little vignettes of comfort, and hoping against hope that I can survive this and get stronger and healthier and maybe even thrive, right? It's a psychedelic dreamer's dream, but I've dreamt big before, and even being able to make these videos for you is miraculous, given what I've come through since early childhood. So there is that. So the moral of that story is you, me, we must never give up, never let the bastards grind us down, and always live in a heart-centered love consciousness, and allow and invite good people into our mind, body and spirit, and indeed life, and be surrounded by bliss and joy and peace and comfort and ease, and heal ourselves to the 10th generation before us, and keep creating. So To you, YouTube world, internet world, citizens, humans and non-human citizens of planet Earth. Osa shalom b'mromav, huya osa shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imru ameh. Let peace exist in all the worlds, and for Israel, meaning Israel, the people, the community, the tribe, and in all worlds, let us live in a world of peace and safety for all, and however much joy we can manifest in our older, slowly declining lives. Love is the law, love under will, and that's Thelema people, and love is all you need, and love the ones you're with, especially if they love you back genuinely, authentically, heartfelt, sincerely, sweetly, romantically, passionately, generously, loyally and faithfully, and don't settle for less, my beloved ones. Life is far, far too short to settle for anything less than your truest, deepest, most authentic loves. So on that note, I bid you good evening, and have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the space-time continuum. Much love, Aroha Nui, sent to you from Titania's realm at my sacred space. Blessed be.